Hi there, welcome to the Noah Presgrove case, looking at everything we know of so far within the timeline of the case. This is the latest news article and coverage we're going to be taking a look at today. I'll be giving my thoughts, analysis, reactions on the matter to see how true it really is. What story, narrative do they go with what we've heard of, or what's been said elsewhere? Is it old or new news which maybe seen for the very first time? That's what I want to do today, and you can react if you want. For those that are watching this live premiere, welcome. Share your thoughts in the live chat box on the right hand side of the screen. And anyone else you want to add on with thoughts, questions, leave them down below under this video. You'll also find a pinned comment by me with some additional links if you do want to support this channel. And last but not least, if you want to catch up on recent coverage by me on the case and you've missed out, you've not been notified, because statistically it's not looked too good last night, you can always catch up on the videos, top right corner of the screen where the I symbol is, and go from there. But right now, in this moment, we need to take a look at this new news article and begin reading. The news group website is by kswo.com, and the title, Noah Presgrove Case, Timeline, Everything We Know. And this is by Destiny Fuller, published August 22nd, 2024, very recent. The now forever 19-year-old was found dead on the side of the Highway 81 on September 4th, leaving a hole in the teen's family and the Comanche community. Okay. Jefferson County, Oklahoma. Those close to Noah Presgrove would describe him as a selfless, athletic, and special to everyone who he knew, or who knew him. So just a description there of Noah is kind of consistent with like what Caden said, Justin Roy, about being athletic, nice, good individual. I said I'm just checking for consistency, that's all. The now forever 19-year-old was found dead outside the highway. Yeah. Presgrove's death brought eyes from across the world to southwest Oklahoma, and as the year anniversary approaches, Noah's Army is looking to bring teen justice. Interesting. So, has it brought attention from around the world? Yeah, you could argue that. People from Australia, New Zealand, you see those people coming on in. It's like that with other missing person cases, mysteries. Within the US, you get quite a few people from Australia and nearby interested who come on over and watch, which is good to see, of course. And, you know, shout out to those that are on my channel watching in the background. It makes reference to the 1 year anniversary approaching. Will be interesting to see what actually happens. I believe I might have done a poll on my channel page, community tab, to do with that. You can always vote if you want. Head on over. Interesting. References Noah Presgrove's Army page, which is the informal group, but the quite a popular one. No reference to the Justice page, but regardless, I think when they say Noah's Army, it's not exactly a direct reference to the Facebook group, but probably more so just anyone who's a part of the case community. 7 News has followed this case since the beginning, and here's everything we know so far. Okay, so this be interesting, right? September 4th, 2023, an investigation closes parts of Highway 81. On Labor Day of 2023, Monday, 7 News was made aware of a large traffic jam on Highway 81. Both north and southbound lanes of the freeway were closed in Jefferson County between Terrell and Ryan, with local authorities diverting traffic to county roads. Now, one of the reasonings behind it being taped off or, closed off for some time, thus leading to traffic jams, is because partially it took some time for the ME to come on down to actually get a hold of the body, right? It was 10, 11 hours in total, and the brother was there waiting and watching. So it's not exactly a good look by the authorities and stuff. The ME that was supposed to be coming on down actually prioritised another location, Lawton, which is a bit odd. I don't know why there wasn't that urgency. Lacking. An official with Jefferson County Sheriff's Office confirmed the freeway was closed due to an investigation that was dragged out, wasn't it? But did not share any further details about the investigation. We then referred to the Oklahoma Highway Patrol for more information. Oklahoma Highway Patrol attributes freeway closure to body discovery. On September 5th, one day after the body was found, officials with Oklahoma Highway Patrol confirmed Highway 81 was closed because of a dead body being found on the side of the road. Authorities revealed the body belonged to a 19-year-old male but did not release an identity. But of course, the friends of the 19-year-old were clearly aware of who it was, and some of the parents as well. But it's interesting how we're talking about September 5th. You don't really hear that date mentioned at all within this case. See, this is the thing. The heavy focus is on Monday and Sunday. Saturday, kind of neglected. Friday, completely neglected. I know we're working backwards there, but I was just giving the order of significance in a way. But as important as Monday is, because it's the day, what about the day after and the day after that? What were people doing? What was the party house like? It just makes it seem like everything went back to normal, or like nothing happened whatsoever on the Tuesday, Wednesday. But there could have been, somewhat of interest. Was there any guilt showing within anyone? Was there any changes of emotions, any delayed emotions? Anything like that? I've not heard any reference. And I think it is important, because if there was any foul play, it could have happened on Monday, but did any more foul play occur Tuesday, Wednesday onwards in disposing any items, cleaning any evidence? There's no harm in looking past it, because whilst it may have happened on a particular day, it's what happens past that point onwards. What happens then? Any more activity? In the Dylan Rouse case, it was very clear, because Saturday, 28th of May 2022 is the day Dylan was murdered, but it was Monday, Tuesday onwards when you had the likes of the spring cleaning, June 2nd, where potential evidence was mishandled, taken away by the killer, and the police allowed it. Very significant, right? You can apply it to other cases too. Does it link to Noah Presgrove? Let me know your thoughts down below. Maybe I could do it as a poll on my channel page, asking, after September 4th, was there any other unusual activity, any more means of foul play, the cleaning up process, the story process? And, when it's up, you can vote if you want. But, closed September 5th. Does it mention when it reopened? Jefferson County law enforcement was called to the scene, just north of Terrell, Oklahoma, State Bureau Investigation, OSBI, also called to the scene and later took over the investigation. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office passed their part in the investigation over to Oklahoma Highway Patrol. OSBI told 7 News they were investigating the death as suspicious, and would have more information once the cause of death was determined, and that wasn't really successful, was it? Okay. OSBI identifies found body as Noah Presgrove. Despite rumblings on social media from a community in mourning, we first officially heard the name Noah Presgrove on September 12th. Wow, quite a delay. But people within the community there in real life would have heard about it sooner. Before then, the Comanche teen was honoured by his alma mater, Comanche High School, before a Friday night football game against Marlow High School. Both sides wore t-shirts and prayed together in his memory. Presgrove was laid to rest after a funeral service on September 11th. His family would immediately start the fight to bring the teen justice. The push for answers. We sat down with some of Noah's relatives shortly after his death, where they were devastated. They also shared feelings of anger and confusion. Presgrove's grandmother, Deborah Smith, who he lived with at the time of his death, said several people claimed to love her grandson. She then called for them to come forwards to bring him justice. Stand up for him. He would have stood up for you, Smith said. The teen's aunt, Robin Smith, has been on the front lines with several of his other family members to keep Noah's name alive whilst waiting for answers. She said OHP hadn't offered the family many details on the investigation. In quotes, because of the investigation, the OHP isn't really releasing a whole lot of information because they don't want it to get out, she said. Don't want it to get out? Don't want it to go any further? Reluctant? I wonder. Because you think as so much time has passed by, I believe it was Robin Smith in Recent Time Partners in True Crime, where she basically gave an update and said, we've not heard any big news, no updates, nothing like that. So from then till now, not much, really. The women said the recent high school graduate had plans of joining service, the military with his cousin, described him as a kind-hearted and dependable, and urged the community to share any information with police. Family shared the teen went to a house on the night of his death. Events between him leaving the party and his death are unclear. Just to make one thing clear though, Noah first attended the party Saturday, stayed there until Sunday morning, went out with the friends to Warwick, a gas station, to get breakfast, and then after that Noah went back home, and then later on was invited back, driven down by other people to the party Sunday evening, getting to night time, and then Monday staying there early hours of the morning, leaving supposedly, as it's been stated, then going missing, as it's been labelled, and then later being found on the highway, dead. But did he die on the highway, or did he die before that and then dropped off at the highway? That's kind of like how it is in a nutshell. So these are the cousins sitting together, sharing the stories about Noah. Okay. Noah's story goes national. Family turns to social media for help. Just before the holidays and 3 months since the teen's death, Presgrove Smith family said they were still feeling left in the dark about the investigation. 7 News reached out to OHP for an update. We were told the organisation would not release details on the case to maintain integrity of the investigation, which is probably quite laughable because the integrity of it could be very questionable from the beginning, that it took long enough for the ME to come on down to take the body away, just left out in the open for all that time. So the freshness going, the opportunity of certain key data coming out of it being possibly lost, the lack of actually tracing Noah's steps back to the party where he was last seen, no investigation there, no proper search there, no luminal done at all. Just, he's found on the highway, is where it is. Lack of proactiveness. And maybe, was there any mishandling of evidence? I mean, we've seen it from maybe some of the partygoers, mishandling of evidence, but as for the police, the patrols, let me know your thoughts down below. Meanwhile, Presgrove's older sister, Madison Rawlings, said closure would help a family in the grieving process. In quotes, I know that he's okay and that we'll be okay, but I think it would make it easier if we knew why, she said. Noah's cousins sat in solidarity, sharing stories and memories of the teen. They all said they looked to him as an older brother, adding, despite teasing, he always pushed them to be a better and never give up on their goals. Okay, all positive there. And, the more positives you hear about Noah, the harder it is to believe what happened to him. Why would anyone do that to Noah? And, if it's on the basis of foul play, if it's on the basis of murder, anyone, stranger or not, the questions I could ask you, and if you want to share your thoughts down below, if it's foul play and it's murder, do you think it's someone that knows Noah or a stranger? And then past that point, would it be someone that had an issue with Noah long term, like a grudge, or in the moment? Right? Let me know your thoughts down below. Now it says, one of the boys, Avery Poucher, said even knowing the worst happened would be better than knowing nothing at all, for the closure. Yeah, that's most people are like in situations like this. It quotes, even if it was an accident, it doesn't matter. Come clean, he said. It hurts not to know, it'll hurt knowing, but it hurts more to not know, the uncertainty. Another of Presgrove's cousins, Ashley Chadwick, turned to social media to bring more attention to the case. Chadwick's posts have picked up hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok. Is that so? The family has since done several podcast appearances and created a Facebook page. Yes, the Justice one. Okay, there appears to be a link there to a TikTok video, I'm guessing. And the username. Summary, medical examiner's report release causes domino effect. Things would remain stagnant in the Presgrove investigation until April 30th, when the Oklahoma State Medical Examiners released summary. For First saw it in Daily Mail. The report gave first confirmation of cause of the military hopefuls' death, that Noah Presgrove's death, multiple blunt force injuries, death unknown, time of death not given, the rape kit done, no signs of that, no signs of drugs. Following the release of summary report, OHP made an announcement May 1st saying they're not currently investigating this death as a murder, which is probably disappointing to her at the time. In an exclusive interview, mother Casey Elliott begged those with information about her son's case to come forwards. Presgrove's mother. In quotes, please, somebody, please, just something, anybody, mercy on their soul. I have mercy on their souls, Elliott said. I need the peace because I kill myself every day. He was just an all-round boy. He was a son that everyone would want, He was my son and I miss him. I know God needed him for some reason. I wish he was still here with me. Okay. Let's scroll down. ME office releases full medical... Okay. May 13th. According to report, Noah found naked on the southbound side of Highway 81, wearing only unmatching shoes. And that is questionable because he may have been found later, naked, but earlier at 5:20, as said by Caden Pressey, Noah was wearing shorts, but later they were taken off by someone, which is very odd, isn't it? And possibly replaced with alternative shorts. As for the shoes, mismatching shoes, that's what's been said all this time, but just recently Jack Newton decided to change it up and say Noah only had one shoe on him. So where did the other one go then? Weird. Jack's saying Noah only had one shoe. The reports, the official stuff is confirming that he had two shoes on. So Jack's going against the official news. That doesn't make him look good, does it? Kind of digging himself into a hole. And what's the whole purpose and point of lying about whether Noah was wearing two shoes or not? Why is it so significant? Must be significant enough for Jack to change the story, makes you think. Anyway, the report says Presgrove was found at 5:53 a.m. on September 4th by a passing truck driver known as Tyler Hardy. Teen suffered several injuries to the head, neck, torso and extremities, but no vehicle parts or debris were found at the scene. Though Noah wasn't found at 5:53, the first one, he was found by another Tyler at 5:43:42 onwards, so just a little bit earlier. It's also noted that Presgrove survived a rollover ATV accident, but it's not an accident, it would be an incident because no damage from how it's been described. On the night of the party, reportedly returned to the party where he then allegedly got into an argument with his girlfriend before leaving the party again. Well, this is terribly written up, unless this is just quoting how it was worded at the time, maybe. You could be lenient there. If not, it's a bit problematic, this. Noah survived a rollover, side-by-side incident. Yeah. The night of the party, well, that's changed because, at least how I've heard it, it was Monday morning, 3 a.m. onwards. So that could be wrong how it's stated here. It says Noah returned to the party, then got into an argument with his girlfriend. Noah's girlfriend wasn't at the party. If this is to do with Noah getting into an argument with Avery, I guess you can consider that maybe an ex-girlfriend, possibly. But in terms of the events, it was the side-by-side followed with Noah himself, by himself, or with others, going to the shower to have a wash. Not directly going into the house to then get into an argument with a girlfriend. That's all wrong. What's mentioned here appears to be BS, in the wrong order. That's not good. Anyway, he wasn't seen again, Noah, until the morning he was found. They're making it sound like Noah went missing Sunday night. That's wrong again. Monday morning, supposedly around 3:30 a.m, Noah wandered off. And then you could interpret it as found by Jack because Jack knew the time of Noah's passing, which was 4 a.m. But in terms of the rest, 5:15. Officials reportedly found a pair of shorts, broken metal chain and a broken tooth. The pair of shorts were white and not damaged, probably because they were put there afterwards, bit dodgy, and folded by the side. But supposedly these shorts were found in the middle of the road, at least when Tyler was driving down, and Tyler Hardy, and it was Jack claiming himself that he picked those shorts up, put them in the back of his truck, and then folded them up and put them by the side of the body, whilst a police person was there, and the police person allowed Jack to do it. Very irresponsible, tampering with evidence, or contaminating it at least. The report was completed by pathologist Leonardo Roquero, who said in the report, what transpired on how the body was found on the road having multiple blunt force injuries is unknown, therefore the manner of death is deemed undetermined. A new normal, a year of first. Despite the findings of the ME's report, officials have yet to share details about the course of the investigation. Smith said she and her family have been pressing both OSBI and OHP for updates. They've been told the agencies are heading in the right direction. Not exactly clear enough though. First anniversary of his death approaches, family dealing with all the first. It was like the Dylan Brown's case, birthday time, Christmas time, Thanksgiving, Easter and whatnot. Since turning 20. It's kind of weird this in a way, not so much for me, but just because I covered the Dylan Rounds case in 2022 and it was a 19-year-old, and then it was coming to the first anniversary of being 20, and the waves of all the different events first time rounds, and how it's worded here is almost the exact same because of the age, the situation. It's kind of weird that. Yeah, anyway, to both celebrate his life and push for answers surrounding his death, several community and family members gathered for a peaceful protest and balloon release at the cemetery where he's buried. Oh, has that already happened, or is that going to happen? Oh yeah, there we go. All came out to honour the teen, pushing to give him his voice. When I heard about it, it kind of hurt. I did only meet him once, but he made an impact on me when I met him, said Carrie Farah, one attendee. It's easy to see from all the videos about him, the post about him, he was a good kid, good at heart. Elliot said the thought of her son's life brings a smile to her face. There you go, happy birthday there. Scroll down. Noah's Army, citizens worldwide rally to find answers since the death has gained attention across the world. Teen's family created a Facebook page titled Justice for Noah Presgrove, which is moderated by family members. But then you also have the Presgrove Army, which is a little bit more informal, but more freedom of speech and more discussions. So it's to bring awareness. The Justice page has over 31.3 thousand followers and counting. That's a lot, that. All of which are calling for justice. The start of the page has tripped a reaction of more than just likes and comments though. Followers across the country have taken steps to enact real changes in this case, like Michael Fazkaz. And we've seen Michael Fazkaz previously on Facebook when he was talking about the hidden recorded footage at the highway after Caden Pressey left at 5:30. And just a little bit of talk about it, because I'm sure it's not going to be mentioned in this article. Michael Fazkaz was talking about how there's like two to three individuals out there that have the footage, and you got one person who has the original video, person at the highway with a phone, and 4 individuals in camera view, and one of which decides to take the shorts off. Sounds very dodgy, doesn't it? Very sensitive material. But was it ever posted publicly and then taken down quickly? I think possibly. But then what the hell's going on with these little moments, more so in the past, the shower, the rollover, the ATV side by side, possibly the highway footage? What is it with these photos and videos being posted publicly for a couple of seconds and then taken away? What's the purpose of that? Is that messing about, playing mind games? But it backfires because some people witness or get screenshots of it. Well, I've yet to see any screenshots, but it's to protect the case. Maybe people are controlling themselves more than the ones that posted it. The Oregon man and his wife started a petition back in May. It calls for charges to be filed against the homeowners where the party Noah attended was reportedly held. The petition reads, September 2023, dangerous party hosted by adults in Terrell, Oklahoma, resulted in the death of Noah Presgrove despite overwhelming evidence including witness testimonies, photographic proof. Law enforcement has yet to take any action. This negligence has left the victims without justice and the perpetrators unaccountable. Timeline of events show clear disregard for evidence and inconsistencies in the investigation. Your signature can help push for the necessary investigation and charges to ensure such recklessness is addressed. As of August 5th, the document has received 3,802 out of its goal of 5,000 signatures, though FaceCast said nothing has come out of it yet. In July, a Duncan woman took the push for justice a step further. She created and published an offer to help investigators make advancements in the case, also known as Jan Fiorillo. And Jan, in recent time, has broken her silence and spoken out regarding her offer being taken off the table before the deadline of, I think, August 15th. And Jan basically said that she can't really talk about it, which kind of hints at the possibilities that someone did take up the offer. And through that NDA, non-disclosure agreement, that's why it can't be talked about. This was one of the original flyers or posters. I was killed, left on the shoulder of Highway 81, 2 miles north of Terrell, Oklahoma, 4 a.m. to 5:50 a.m. Labor Day 2023. Now, I've never really focused much on this, but I find it extremely interesting. Okay, it's like emotional language, as in it's coming from Noah Presgrove himself, to try and get people to speak up, to feel guilty and reveal the truth. I understand that. But to state that I was left on the highway at 4 a.m. up to 5:50 when I was eventually called in to the police. Why are we saying 4 a.m. is the time I was left on the highway? Killed and left on the highway. You know, the person that created this poster, are they implying that Noah was killed on the highway or elsewhere and then left on the shoulder? I wonder. And the person that created this flyer poster, are they saying that at 4 a.m. that's when Noah was killed and when he was left on the highway? Now, yeah, 4 a.m. is a key timestamp what we've heard of before, but it's never been fully reinforced or followed up with. But there could still be truth to it, and that's why we've gone over it over and over again. 4 a.m. being the timestamp given by Jack Newton of all people, Jack saying 4 a.m. was when Noah passed away. So is that why it was added onto this poster? Maybe. It's just interesting how they're actually using that timestamp, or were at the time. Make a deal before it's too late. You can pause it if you want to read that, but we have read it before. Yeah, there we go. Jan Fiorillo said she felt connected to Presgrove after hearing his life story, leading her to create an offer to pay for legal representation. She said she wants to make sure that both Noah and whoever decides to come forward's protected. In quotes, "I'm really just a victim's advocate," Fiorillo said, wanting to ensure people come forwards and may have something, but their rights are protected as well. We have a bargaining chip as well, isn't it, to encourage people to speak out. Since it was published, Jan followers Presgrove case have taken to the streets of Oklahoma, Texas, posting them about. But given the timeline of the case, the offer expired August 15th, but they were taken down, at least online, before August 15th, which this article doesn't seem to mention. No, it doesn't mention it at all, so it's a good thing that I added on my additions there. Okay. Moving on. 911 calls. Let's see the consistency. Copies made to authorities morning discovered. Caller 1 of the caller said looked like Noah had been hit. Another saying he was on the shoulder but nearly on the white line. Caller 1, which is Tyler. It looked like somebody got hit, like somebody walking down the highway, laying on the shoulder of the road. Dispatcher. It looked like somebody was laying in the road, question. Caller. No, on the shoulder. They were walking, maybe somebody hit them. It wasn't a deer, it looked like a body. Caller 2. I'm pretty sure there is someone laying dead along the road. They look naked. I'm staying back. But caller 2 is Tyler Hardy. Dispatcher. Yes, I just had 2 calls on that, and I have a deputy headed that way. 2 calls on that. So there was a third caller? No. From how it's been worded, and we can always go back over it again because there might be some unfinished business somewhere. Caller 1, Tyler. Caller 2, Tyler Hardy. First call made by Tyler Hardy didn't work because it was static, and you can actually hear that in one of the logs. Third final call by caller number 2, Tyler Hardy, successful. There we go. Dispatcher, yes, I said, yeah. Caller 2, all right, I'm sitting here blocking the red. According to radio log, the cancer sheriff requested Oklahoma State Bureau. The medical examiner told him they didn't think his death was an accident. Huh. Since then, several theories about what happened to Noah Presgrove have circulated online. Authorities have not announced the finding truth in those claims, and for Presgrove's family, they say they'll never stop fighting. Okay. Though he was loved in life, his death has latched onto the hearts of sympathizers across the globe. Media outlets like People, New York Post, and ML have shared his story along with several podcasters, but questions as to what took place in the final hours of his teen's life still keeping fellows guessing. Despite a lack of information, Noah's army continues to grow and get stronger each day. Being honest, I found that article very disappointing. When you say everything that we know so far in the timeline of Noah Presgrove, the whole purpose of a timeline is from start to finish and then the midpoints along the way. Maybe it's not complete, but it's filled out to an extent, and you can see the progression with time from the past to the present, and maybe with time the future, depending on how long it goes on for. But realistically, what we looked at today was just going on about post-death of Noah and how things came about from there. It didn't really mention anything about resistance. It didn't mention anything about anyone being attacked. It mentioned nothing about partners in true crime. No credit given to them. It mentioned nothing about Caden Pressey. What is it about Caden Pressey being ignored and blanked when it comes to these different news groups and articles? It's like as bad as Warlight Rath being completely blanked and not credited when it comes to the Kenny Veach case with all the other channels out there and the bigger ones and some of the news groups as well. Some important pieces along the way, talks, discussions, and it's being ignored. Why is Caden Pressey being ignored? Okay, he doesn't have to be interviewed. He might not want to be, but, just a little reference to his name here and there is no harm. But it always comes down to the favoritism of Jack Newton, spokesperson or not, will always be referenced and quoted because he's done the most talking, or just because he's seen as the best friend to know, so he must be more important in the whole case. But Caden Pressey is just a friend. So Caden just gets left aside, yet Caden has probably provided a bit more clarity, or a lot more clarity, than Jack has ever done. Because all Jack's done is switched and changed, and it's just made the situation more complicated with time. Well, at least Caden's been more consistent in a way. So, yeah, a lot missing out of that article that was read. Okay, it gave a backstory to certain things and events which I've not heard of before, but it's post-death, right? As for before that, what about the timeline, leading up to the death of Noah? How come that wasn't mentioned, right? This article, what we read today, should have included the beginning, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, okay, the party, and beyond. This article and others, no mention of the dove hunt, no real mention of any particular names. It was actually shit, okay? Now, it was that bad that I need to fix it. Just give me a second. Where is it? I only do this here and there, especially when an article is that bad or lacking. And to be honest, even if it was really the bare bone basics, what we looked at today, onwards, and it was very vague, some of the language and wording was poorly written, didn't always make sense, and the odd bit of misinformation as well. So because of that, naughty article. That's what it deserves. And to be honest, speaking of articles, we've not really had a good run of them, like with the Kenny Veach case. The last one that I looked at just yesterday was very limited as well. And I think the one before reading in the past, some people said it was like AI generated and written up, or chat something, that program. What a weird scenarios going on. But just wanted to catch up with the latest articles, or one of them at least. There might be more that follow. This article that's been done in recent time is looking beyond ahead for the anniversary of what's coming up. It's completely neglected everything that's happened in between and before then. What the hell's going on? It doesn't deserve to be called a timeline. I mean, like, when I did my timeline, or part of a timeline of events, it was more relevant and actually showed the times. All I will say is that, when you look back retrospectively, when it comes to the Dylan Rounds case, all the humans that were dissatisfied, complaining, weren't too pleased with the timestamps of the phone pings provided in the Dylan Rounds case by Alexa Candice Cooley with Dylan's phone, the whereabouts on the day, the 28th, Saturday. When you look back at that now, it was a whole lot clearer and maybe more linear than what it is here. Because in terms of everybody's whereabouts with the phone pings and the times, really nothing has been provided publicly. In the Dylan Rounds case, we got a clear answer as to when Dylan Rounds' phone ended up and at what time. And others were saying, not possible, or it's not true, but it was a lot clearer and easier to follow, and there was a direction to it. Wherever the phone ended up, the killer was there, because early on, the killer took out Dylan and got the phone, and the time-lapse footage found on the phone showed him with it, in possession. So it reinforces it. Wherever that phone went after a certain time, it was Brenner, and it was post-death of Dylan. So then you could track the movements, create a timeline on Google Earth, pinpoint it as to, right, why is he going in that direction? Could he be going over there to dispose of something? Is he going over that way because he's going to Don's place later for that barbecue? A lot clearer, a lot easier. Whereas when it comes to the Noah Presgrove case, the party situation, a range of different people gathered in one place. Moving about a lot? Not really. Unless you got the odd stray person that walks away besides Noah. Was much distance covered on foot? I don't think so, right? There might be some additional bits coming along just recently, and we don't need to get into it too deep just yet, but some people were saying on Partners in True Crime there was a witness just before 5 in the morning seeing a side-by-side on the highway or something passing by, and it made them jump or so. And then some other talk that there was like tyre marks on Noah, but not seen that in any reports or official autopsy, not seen anything like that. But that supposed side-by-side before 5 in the morning passing by a witness, well, could that be Jack Newton then in his side-by-side? Because it was 4 in the morning when he decided to say that's when Noah passed away. Different ways of looking at it, right? So if we need to, I'm surprised no one's done a summary of that Partners in True Crime one, like on Reddit, where, unless it's people just been busy. Well, it's what it is. So I've still got some videos to catch up on, personal ones, individuals, and I'll do that. And just be on the lookout for it. Hopefully you found this video somewhat interesting. Had to add some additions in of info because it was lacking, and make a little adjustments. Let me know what you think of the article. Was it good? Was it shit? And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.